all family photo.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, I've had clients that bring their whole family and they have every single year. So like we frame the pictures and send them to them because they've never missed a year. So they have like 13 years of pumpkin patch pictures. It's crazy. I couldn't get away with not doing that one. That's for sure. So, which is good. You want people to know what to plan for. So.
Okay, well, I think we can probably get started here pretty quick.
I'm going to try and take that little ding off. All right, there we go. I'm learning Zoom a little bit better here. Do you want to wait?
Right.
What do you want to get started or wait one more minute? Do we have more people joining? Can't tell.
I mean, I would just get started. People can come. It's 11, so if they're late, they can just join and
Okay, I'm gonna
pick up where we started.
And how do we access this after the fact? Because I have to get in the car.
Yeah, so I'm going to upload this to your members area if you're a member, and I'll save the recording. And then there's also a document that we put together that goes through a lot of, so if you want to take notes, that's great. But a lot of what we're covering in the presentation, we've packaged into like a download for you guys. So you'll be able to access that as well. And so I'll send you a link to that so you know where to find it in the members area this week. And yeah, so you'll be able to watch the recording if you can't watch the whole presentation, or if you want to just watch it again and then get that resource.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Right, are we ready to do this?
I think we're ready.
I want to put you guys on my screen. All right, so today it's going to be all things client parties. I'm going to go into detail on why you should have a party. I think we all know it's a great way to bring people together, but I'm going to kind of break that down a little bit deeper and further. And then we'll go into kind of the process and the marketing and the systems around the parties. So we know, the reason why we do these parties is to show all of our clients appreciation. And the Realtor magazine last October featured my client parties in the magazine. So it was a really fun write-up that they did on client parties and how to deepen relationships. So I just wanted to let you all know I'm credible and can speak on this topic. So, but why I host them, me personally, it's a really great way to get a high quality touch with clients. The first party that I ever did was in 2008. And I was so scared to throw the party because I had the typical fears that we all have. No one's going to show up. What if I look stupid? What am I going to say? So, but I went ahead and I did it anyways. And I had a really great turnout. It was really fun to just be able to see my clients face to face. And obviously our clients, we need to appreciate them and show them gratitude for supporting our business. So that's another reason to do it. And it's a really fun way to create community. Like if I go back to this slide right here, these people met because they came to two of my client parties and now they're all best friends. And so, I'm pretty intentional at some of my parties about pairing people up with people at different tables and things like that, just based on this, personalities and whatnot. So it does create community, and it's a really good way to build lasting relationships when you do them consistently and your clients know what to expect. Other reasons, it's a really good way to leverage your time, your resources, and your marketing dollars. So as I got busier in my business, I realized that pop buys were too time consuming for me. And so I call my parties a reverse pop buy, basically, where our clients come to us and we get to see a large amount of people in a very short amount of time. And just get, again, check in with people, get that deeper connection with people. And then it really does showcase the success of your brand. And it does create better, bigger, and greater brand awareness. In my community of clients, I'm known as the party lady. And so when they introduce me to people, the first thing they say is she throws these awesome parties and you'll get invited when you work with her. And so it does, when you have, 200 people or even 50 people in it at a gathering, and your clients all see that you brought all those people together, it definitely, it lets them know that you're successful in your business. And I think it's really important to send that message to your clients as well. Mm-hmm. And then it also creates a portal to meet new people. I encourage at every party that we have, except with the exception of one, that I ask them, please bring friends and family that you think I need to meet. You know, if you know of anyone buying or selling this year, or they have questions about the market, bring them with you. And so we always have people check in. So it's a good way to capture information, and it's a great way to grow your database. So when you get into the planning of the event, first off, you need to determine the party size. So I do 5 events a year, and I don't invite my entire database to every event. So each event that I host is very specific to you know, depending on if I'm doing a family party, or I'm just doing A+ clients, or I throw one party where I have the attendees or the people that bought and sold with me the previous year, and I'll get into a few ideas on that. You'll want to refine all of the details, and you'll want to do all of this very well in advance. And then you're going to need to get a team of people together to help you. If you have a team, you also want to have another team. Your team needs to be mingling with their clients and mingling with your clients. And so you'll want to get lenders and some of your vendors to help you with the client party details so that you guys can mingle with your clients. You're going to want to do creative marketing, and you'll need a timeline. It's essential, and a written plan, and then have an after party plan as well. And then to plan your event. So we obviously know what our events are going to be each year, but we start months in advance. So typically 3 months before an event, we start the planning process. So we determine a clear purpose. And I think that's something that's really missed when people are planning parties, because they're thinking, well, I'm just going to throw a party and bring my clients together. But what are you trying to achieve? I think you need to always have an intention, and you need to have your whole team kind of backing you on the intention, because it's super important that mute somebody, sorry. You'll want to make sure that you're really clear on the goal that you are out to achieve. So are you looking to get more referrals, or are you just looking to go deeper with your clients? So whatever that is, you need to be clear on that, and you need to have your team on board with that. And then you need to have a plan on how you're going to get future business from the event, because I mean, obviously throwing the events is fun and being able to see people face to face, but really we're doing it to get some referrals out of our clients and get in front of them. And so making sure that you've got a plan around how you're going to mine your database for referrals when you're throwing the party is really important as well. And then you're going to want to be really clear about who is on your invite list. So is it a party for families? Are you hosting something for adults only? So you're going to want to determine that in advance as well. And then the party size. So I do, with the 5 parties that I do, I have some small events. And when I say small, usually it's maybe 250 to 300 people. And my large can be up to 1,000 people. So I know everyone's going to have a different party size, but we've included a lot of this in the packet that you guys will all get. But some of the smaller parties that you can do, we've done tickets to a play, sporting events. It's really fun. Obviously, a lot of us do the holiday pie event, and that can be a big or a small party. You can host business mixers. We do a cookies with Santa every year, and we don't do that for our whole database. So that's kind of for our top A's and A+ clients and our business vendors. You can do wine and cheese events. You can do a shred event. There's so many events, and we have a lot of ideas that we'll be able to share with you on different events that you can host throughout the year. And then as far as larger events go, our pumpkin patch, like I talked about in the beginning, we have a massive turnout to that. So we've had up to 1,300 people at one of our patches. Movie nights is something that you could do that's big or small. Summer barbecues are really fun. We did for years, we did a summer barbecue, and then we found a water park, which this is one of the pictures of our water park party, where we rent out a water park and close it down, and our clients get to come and bring their families. You could do a trunk or treat. You could do an ice cream social. We've done Easter egg hunts in the past. So we've tried out a lot of different parties, and I think you have to just kind of, determine the amount of work that's going to go into it as well, and the capacity that you have, and kind of plan your party around that, and then the resources that you have in your area to host it. And then refining the details. So really sitting down and determining what you need for the actual party. So are you going to have entertainment there? Do you need music? Do you need to rent equipment? Are you going to have a themed party? Do you know where you can host it? Do you have options for that? So determining the date, time, and location, and even the time of week that you throw a party. So a good example of that, I'm out in Utah and we have a lot of families. So for years and years, we did all of our big family parties that we did them on a Monday night, because in Utah, people are Mormon and they have family night on Utah. So we would get a larger turnout on Monday nights because there's no sports and nothing that got in the way of that. So, you know, that's something to look at as your demographic within your database when you're looking at the days of the week that you throw a party. A lot of people do them on Saturdays. We don't do them on Saturdays because there's too many sporting events and things like that. We have one that we do on a Saturday, but primarily the others, they're all during the week. And then setting a budget and making sure that you stick with it. And that's really important, that you have a budget so you know what it's going to cost you, and that, you know, you get an ROI on your return. And then determining the staffing needs. Like I said, make sure you recruit your dream team so you've got enough people that can help you at the event. Oh, and then recruiting your dream team. So for our events, we enlist family, we get friends, we get our business vendors. We'll ask them to come and help out. Because we always have a sign up table, and then we'll have different booths, and, you know, you need a photographer and you want somebody that's going to be taking candids and different things like that. So, you know, business vendors love to participate in these things, and you can market that they've supported your event, which is great marketing exposure for them as well. Another thing that I would highly recommend you do, if you're throwing parties at this point, is getting your business partners to share in the cost of the expense of the party. So I have a preferred lender that I work with, and he gets the majority of the business that we have as far as buyers go. And so they split the cost with us for all of our parties. And then we will reach out to our other vendors, like our home inspectors and title company and my insurance agent, because we send them so much business. And we'll ask them to sponsor different things. Like if we're serving pizza at the water park, then we might ask one of our vendors if they want to sponsor the pizza, or we have, you know, cookies or donuts in an event. So it's a great way for them to get marketing exposure too and support your business. And in my opinion, I think they should do that and reciprocate, because, you know, we all work by referral, and I'm sure you guys send a lot of business to your preferred people. So I would enlist them in that. And if anyone has questions about how to go about doing that, we have, which actually, Kat, we should probably include, we have a kind of a template that we send out that, you know, it's basically written up that just asks them if they want to participate, and so it's very specific. So we can include that in the bonus stuff as well if you want to enlist the vendors. So but it's a great way to offset the cost. I have some parties that don't cost me anything, and some parties that are really inexpensive because of the support that we get out of our vendors. So, and then you want to make sure that you have some really good marketing, and you want to have a marketing plan and comprehensive marketing around your party. So we always do a save the date. We used to send it out we used to mail it out, but now we do an email save the date, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit further as we get into this a little bit further. We do a direct mail invitation. So I always make a postcard similar to this that we send out on every single event that we do. People get a lot of emails, and, you know, you want to hit their mailbox so that they see that, and it kind of cuts through some of that clutter. And then we will do online Evite reminders. We do a texting RSVP as well, which we get a massive response from. People are better to sign up through text than they are email or any other source. So texting is a great way to invite your clients as well. And then we always film a video letting people know what we're doing the day of the event, you know, inviting them to come out, and again, asking them to bring friends and family that they think we might need to meet. So again, you know, if you're not doing that with parties, it really is a good way to meet people. And every party that we have, someone always brings a sister or a friend who's looking to buy or sell. And it's a great face-to-face way to make that connection with that referral. And then Facebook and social media. So you'll want to make sure that you, depending on your event. So for our really big ones, we will do a Facebook page for that, and we'll go in and invite all of our clients through the Facebook page, and we'll post on social media and we'll blast it out there. the parties that we do that are a little bit smaller and we have more of a select group that we are inviting, like our A pluses and A's, we don't necessarily do that. But for the most part, a Facebook invite's really good, and you can post updates in there as the timeline goes on. People watch that, so I would set up Facebook on that. And then following a timeline is probably the most critical, important thing that you can do. Again, like I said, you're going to want to really prepare your items in advance so your marketing goes out on time and it's going to the right people. You want to have a 3-month calendar, and I would put this on an actual calendar so that it is scheduled in and you know when every single thing is going to go out, so you don't miss a date or a time. And that you know what marketing is going out when, so you know when to post on social, when the newsletters need to go out, and that sort of thing. And that will bring calm to your life as you're putting the party together, because they can be pretty stressful. So then okay, so sorry, I'm muting people. So 2 months before, you're going to want to make sure all of your marketing materials are completely designed. So you're going to want your newsletter templates made, your postcard done, your save the date template made. You're going to want your social media information made, all of the content written up. With the save the date, the nice thing about that is if you don't know all of the exact details, you're at least sending that out and saying, hey, get this on your calendar, and more details are to come so people can mark it. You'll want to get your Facebook page created. We always do ours well in advance as well, so we can make sure everybody gets invited, and we start trickling out information on there to get people excited about it. And then you can start including your party in your monthly newsletter. So you could have a little link on there or something to that effect where people can see that the party's coming up and when and what you're going to be doing. And then a month before, so we write exactly at 1 month, depending on what mailing system that you use. So if you're using Vistaprint, Kat can chime in on this, but I think they have about a 10-day delay. Is that right, Kat? You're muted.
I muted myself. Yeah, it's about 7 to 10 days, but so you definitely want to plan that out in advance if working back in the date you want to hit homes. You can pay a little extra if you're running behind schedule and it'll hit homes like a week sooner, but it's typically about 10 days.
So with that being said, I would get your mail invite out through Vistaprint about 5 weeks in advance. That way it hits mailboxes, between 3 and 4 weeks before the party starts. 1 month before, you'll want to send out your actual email invitation and have an RSVP link in that so people can start RSVPing. RSVPing is an interesting thing. So we always have this little caveat that unless it's a very, like I said, a specific party where like you're doing a dinner party and you have to know how many people you're going to be feeding. We say RSVPs are appreciated, but they're not required. I need to try and see who I need to mute here, but that they're not required, because a lot of people, if they think, oh no, I forgot to RSVP, they won't come. And I would say that we probably have 70% of our people will RSVP, and then people will just straggle in. So it's important that they know that it's not an absolute requirement, but it's appreciated. And we put the RSVP link in every single thing that we send out. It's so nice to be able to have at least a general idea on how many people are going to be there. Like with our pumpkin patch that we just did, because we did it at a park, we had to haul in all these pumpkins. And so we need to know, do we need 900? Do we need 1,000? Like, I don't want to take home 300 pumpkins, right? So we were really intentional about getting them for that. But at the same time, we don't make it a requirement because we don't want people to not come because they forgot to RSVP. A month before, you'll want to start updating event details on social media. You'll want to start, if you start to get sponsors and your vendors are starting to help, you can start posting information on your vendors to kind of give them a shout out. And then you're going to want to secure all of your volunteers, the employees, and all your vendors so everyone knows, and they've committed to coming and they've committed to helping you. So you've got enough hands on deck for the party. So all you have to do is mix and mingle with your clients. And then 3 weeks before the event, You're going to want to call all of your clients and personally invite them. So I have a kind of a large team and what I do in a large database. And so we do call lists for our agents. So we give them about a month in advance and they call through my clients, their clients. We all take a group of people and we call. So we want to personally invite everyone. And the goal with a party really is you want to get those touches out. It's, you know, if you have if you sit down and actually say, how many touches do I need to make this month to get, you know, maybe you need to have 20 touches to get a referral, you know, you can count all of those as client touches. And so it's also with the call list, that one thing that's really great is someone's asking a question. I don't know how to enlarge this. Kat, can you look? I'll keep going and I'll let Kat look at that. So one of the other things is our clients are hearing from us every single quarter. So like we're picking up the phone and calling and we're checking in, and we always ask for referrals. So we're very specific with the dialogue. Everybody says we put together I don't want to call it a script, but kind of an invite on what we're going to say to people, and then the referral ask at the end, because again, you've got to remember we're doing these with the hopes of getting referrals out of our clients. And I think a lot of agents, and even myself in the past, years ago, you know, we just want to appreciate them. We don't want to ask for anything back, but you're giving them this wonderful gift of a party, you know, ask them for a referral, you know, tell them what your business goal is for the year. Our goal in 2023 is to, you know, work with 100 families. So we would love to help anyone that you know that's looking. So any kind of a referral ask, just to get that plug in their minds, is really good. And then start collecting RSVPs and just, again, be as intentional as you can about that. One of the other things that we do is we will send a confirmation email when a client RSVPs. And that just sort of like solidifies that, hey, you said you're going to be coming to this. And so I think it's just another touch that we do, just to say, hey, we acknowledge that you did RSVP. We have you on the list, and this is how many people are in your party. And then a week before, you'll want to send out a last chance email to RSVPs. So we have some ideas or some templates for you guys that you'll be able to see on that. You'll want to send a text reminder and the RSVP link again the week before. And then you'll want to do that. I think I have a day of slide, but you're going to want to finalize assignments with all your vendors. You're going to want to make sure your team knows what to do. And then I would post 2 more times on Facebook. So the week of the event, this is the week the party is here. And then again, on the day of the event, you're going to want to make a post. And then the day of, arrive with your team, set up, put a story on social media to get people excited, and kind of, I think it's great to, showcase a little bit about what you're doing at the party to get ready, and then just have fun and enjoy your day. So that was just at we had 1,000 pumpkins we had to lay out. My team doesn't ever want to do it again. So I got to hire help for that, I was told. So, and then after the event, I would say this is something that's absolutely critical, that you have an after the event plan in place. So one of the fun things that we do is we always have a professional photographer at every party that we do, no matter what. And we will post the photos on social media, but we also have them put into print. And sometimes, depending on the party, we'll frame them and we'll have them delivered as pop buys. Or we'll put them in the mail and we'll mail them out to clients with a thank you for coming to the party. But I cannot tell you how many times I go into my past clients' houses when they need to relist or they need something, and their little picture with my logo background is sitting on their bookshelf in a frame that I delivered. And some of my parties, people come to every single one of them and they'll have 10 frames. It's pretty awesome when you can see that, and they keep those, so they think of you every time they look at their picture. So make sure you always post the event photos on social media and tag your clients. If you are able to tag them, then their friends and family see it. But it's a good way to get exposure for you as well. And then, always make sure to thank everyone who made it to the event and who helped with the event. send out notes to people. If you have team members, have them write notes to their clients that came to the party, thanking them for coming. It's just another touch. And then film a video, again, saying thank you for coming to the party. And if you know that you're going to be doing another event soon, maybe, say, hey, look, watch for your mail and watching your newsletters. We'll be announcing our next event soon, or, our next event is going to be Cookies with Santa. So you'll be hearing from us soon. So, it's a great way to do that as well. And then I love this quote. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So, I feel like with the parties, if you do them well and you do them consistently, and I think that's another really big piece is, if you say you're going to have an annual party, then make sure it's an annual event, because so often you get busy, or maybe the budget doesn't, necessarily correlate that year. But I've had years where back in the very beginning, when I started doing my parties, we did everything ourselves. So if we did a barbecue, my dad was like cooking the burgers, and we did everything. And some years it was so hard because we were busy to throw the party off, to throw it together and put it on. But we did it no matter what. And it's such a great way to gain traction with your clients. It's why I do 5 parties a year, because I do get a really big ROI on that. And I feel like, probably a lot of the business that I have comes from the fact that I'm very consistent with them. People also, if you do the same thing, I've had a lot of, over the years, people say, why don't you mix the parties up? If you have a party that you do and it works and you get a great turnout, maybe change some things about the party, but maybe not necessarily change the party. So, but it's just a great way to get in front of your people. And like Kat said, let's see, you can unmute now. Go ahead and talk about the resources that we put together that will go into like insane detail of all of this with like a lot more detail.
Yeah, so obviously this is the high level, and we did give you some detail on kind of how to break up your marketing approach and a little bit of a checklist of what you should be doing at different time slots. But we did put together for our members a very, very detailed checklist that literally has every single thing you can possibly imagine doing based on the timeline. So we will give you guys that. And then we've also, so like Heather said, I'm sure you guys have some questions, which if you do, feel free to unmute and start asking those now. But I think some important things to note was, if you are going to commit to doing client parties, we recommend trying to do 1 a quarter. That's kind of like the sweet spot that we've found. And so we've given you some ideas in that checklist, as well as kind of like how you can plan out each quarter, a party for each one, whether it's small, medium, or large size party. We've given you some marketing samples. So here's kind of what your save the date could look like, or here's what your postcard could look like, or here's what your follow-up email could look like. Because I think, obviously this is a lot of work, but what's key is making sure that you have all these touch points leading up to the event. But then I think where I see a lot of agents kind of not maximize their efforts with their client party is they don't do the follow-up piece. So they throw the party and then they're like, okay, cool, we're done now, right? And it's like, no, that's when the next step kind of comes in. And that's where you can really take it to the next level by making sure that you are following up with everybody that came to the event, that you are sending the pictures out, that you are thanking them for coming. And so I think that's really where I've seen a lot of people's parties kind of fall flat, is because one, they don't ask for referrals around their parties. So that's another thing, is I've had people throw parties, but they don't have a check-in station where they're like making sure they're talking to every person and marking them off that they've attended, and they're having that one-to-one connection with every person that steps through the door or the park or wherever you're throwing it. And then making sure that when you are calling the people that you're asking for referrals, you're telling them to bring people, and then also following up. So we're going to provide you guys with all of those resources that we have, that we use, so that hopefully when you're planning your party, nothing falls through the cracks and it makes it a lot more seamless. And I think based on Heather's presentation, one of the biggest takeaways I've gotten is making sure that you're planning these well in advance, because that's another area where it's like, I've seen people try to scramble and throw a party together in a month, and it's doable, but you're not doing it as well as you could be doing it if you sit down and you have everything planned out months in advance and all of the marketing materials are together, everything's going out, it's all organized. That's going to make this a whole lot more doable for you guys.
And I'll even speak to the organizational part. So I'm at Keller Williams here, and they throw parties for like our whole office. So the agents can donate however many, or they have to put in so much money per person. And I've gone to their events, and I've had my clients go to their events, and it's like mass chaos, and there's too many people, it's insanity. And my clients will be like, this isn't your party, right? Because I'm super organized and really, again, very intentional about making sure that you're giving people an amazing experience. And I think that speaks volumes for how you do business as well. So it's so important that you do the planning. And where we are, in November of this year, look at next year and say, what party could I do this upcoming year, and what kind of a budget do I have? I'm happy to go into detail on each party that I do if anyone wants to know. Another thing that I want to say is we've done a lot of we've done some review contests and raffle drawings and things like that around our parties just to get client reviews. And so we've raffled off like big ticket items where we've said for every review that you post, you're going to get a ticket for this and a ticket for this and or a raffle ticket, right? And we'll enter you into a drawing. And so when people come there, we'll have the like an iPad so that they can, do a review right then if they want to. But there's lots of different things you can do around the parties. You can do fundraiser stuff around the parties if you want to donate to a food bank. We've tried a little bit of everything. So, but the biggest thing is, you guys, is make sure when you're doing the parties, you don't forget the part that you're doing them to get referrals. And don't be shy about it. It's not like you have to hound your clients for referrals, but you can do it in a very tactful way, just like we do when we make our phone calls. But I mean, ultimately, we're doing it to build our database, meet new people, and get referrals. And so we've done referral contests in the past where we've said, we'll enter you into a drawing for a Traeger if you bring us the name and contact information for someone looking to buy or sell. And then we'll have a little booth set up for people to fill out the contact information. And then we reach out after the fact and connect with them. So, and then you get to connect with the person that wrote their name down, call them first and say, tell me a little bit about your friend or family member, and then contact the person they're referring and make that connection with them. So there's a lot of different touches you can do around a party. I think that's the beauty of doing them. And so I would maximize on that so that you're making your money, make your trip work for you, right? So I think
we have a couple questions. Yeah. And actually to just chime in on that. So I know one of the parties I went to, your Valentine's dinner for your A+s, you've also done like testimonials at the event. So that's also really fun. If you're looking to capture reviews and testimonials, like at Heather's event, she'll have kind of like a side room set up with a videographer. And so this is her A+ client event. Everyone there knows her, loves her. And so this videographer he'll have a list of people, kind of like a hit list of who she wants to get testimonials from. And then throughout the event, as everyone's in a good mood, mingling, maybe had a glass of wine or two, he'll pull you aside into this other room and do like a quick little testimonial. So that can be a really good way to generate a lot of content as well around that you can use in other promotional things throughout the year at these events. And then, yes, the review contest. I think you did get a lot of reviews from that raffle. Yeah. From that event alone, I think you probably got over like 100 online reviews. So if you are looking to kind of boost your Google My Business or Facebook reviews or whatever, that can also be another way to maximize your client party. And as everyone's together, get a bulk of reviews, get some testimonials, and really make it worth everybody's time being there. So do you want me to read the questions to you, Heather, or do you see them?
But I want to say something around that. If you're going to do it, you got to market it, right? You got to hit it hard, so that it's part of your whole plan. But yeah, I can see Noelle asked, do I still do pop buys? Yes, I do. I don't deliver pop buys. I have a runner that delivers them for me, but I have pop buys go out once a month. So I still think that's an important piece, but I don't do them personally. I don't have time, and I'm a flopper buyer, so I talk too much, so I can't trust myself to do them anyway. So it's better if someone delivers them for me. And then my client parties, I'll just kind of go through them really quickly. So, and some of the things I've done that I've, I guess, liked and not liked too. So my favorite party, well, they're all my favorites, never mind. The first party that I do of the year it's a Valentine dinner party, and I do it the Saturday before Valentine's Day every year. And I used to do a gratitude gathering in November, and the holidays are just so busy. And so I'm like, why don't we do something in February and I'm in Salt Lake, right? So it's just freezing and there's nothing to do and people want winter to be over, and there's not sports and all this stuff going on. So probably 10 years ago, I started doing a Valentine party, and I do that one for all of the clients that worked with me the previous year, sent me a referral, worked with me or my team member. So bought and sold a house with our group the previous year, sent a referral to us, and then we invite all of our business vendors. And just, sometimes I'll invite people that have just been a big supporter of my business. I kind of pick and choose who comes to that one. But that one's a really fun one, and it's a really awesome party to do the first quarter of the year, because it's when you get all of your clients together, like right in the beginning of the year when things are a little bit slower, we do a program for that one. And so we hire a band, we have an open bar, we have a seated dinner, we do a big raffle drawing. People love to get the prizes. And so we have all the raffles are donated, so we're not having to pay for those. And then we do a program. So y'all know Mary Beth Eisenhart, most of you probably, but she holds a similar one, but she does it in the fall, but she does these little Academy Awards. And so like we actually have a company that makes these Academy Awards. And so we get together as a team and we come up with like funny things that happen throughout the year, real estate story wise. And then we'll like tell the story when we're doing the program and bring our clients up and give them an award. So obviously it has to be people that are attending the event, but everybody likes it. And it's a fun way to take our business and make a little humor out of it. And then in the program, again, I thank everybody for coming. And again, I always ask for a referral. One year I had my top refer of the year get up, and I had her tell everyone how she refers everyone to me. So I'm like, teach everyone how to send a referral, because, she's like, I text her, I put her in a joint text. So it's, we can say to our clients, send us a referral, but that doesn't mean they know how to do it right. Here's a business card, but that doesn't really work. But that's the first one we do. And then we always do the spring event. We have been doing a shred event, and that one's been really fun to do. We just started doing that one, so we're just kind of gaining traction on that one. But we used to do an Easter egg hunt, and Easter egg hunts are really fun, but they're a lot of work for about that much time. And I didn't love the Easter egg hunt, so we switched it over to a shred event. And that one's, again, inexpensive. We actually have a company that brings a big dumpster, and people can just spring clean their yards and bring stuff. So we get a pretty good turnout to that one. And then in the summer, in June, we do a water park. And so we rent out a water park and invite our whole entire database to that one. And that's an easy one, because you're just giving them pizza and just mingling around with people while they have a nice evening with their families. We used to do a summer barbecue, and I had a company come in and cater that, and we would do it at a park. We'd have a bounce house and different things like that. So summer barbecues are really good one to do in the middle of the year. And then we do our pumpkin patch always. So you could do a fall festival, a corn maze, a pumpkin patch, but again, always have a photographer at your events, have activities for kids to do. We bring face painters to our events. We have a magician that will come to entertain the kids. So it's a really, really fun evening for the families. And then we do Cookies with Santa, which is our next event. And we will host that one. I think it's like December 3rd. So we do it really early on in the year so that people can use the photos for their Christmas cards. So we put together a really adorable photo booth. We have a Santa that comes, and he has a real beard, because I require that. And that one's a little bit smaller. So that's kind of for our A's and A pluses. And it's just a nice way. Again, I like the smaller ones because mine can be really big, and I actually get to talk to everybody when there's only 200 people. But those are the events that I do each year. And they're fun. So if you're not doing events, you need to start doing them, and start with one and try to build upon that. But again, offset your costs, because it doesn't need to be super expensive. If not almost free to you, because you get your vendors involved. So I think, let's see.
I have a question about that, Heather.
Okay.
So I've worked with clients in the past who have had a hard time getting vendors to buy in and co-market some of these things. So how have you been successful at building strong vendor relationships and setting the expectation that they need to be contributing to these parties?
Well, I guess with my lender part of it, because my lender does go, he actually pays 50% of all of the marketing we do, including pop buys and everything. But we put his branding on everything, and he gets every buyer that, unless we have a buyer that comes and they already have a lender and they won't get a second opinion with him, he gets all of our buyers. And that was, I mean, I hand selected him. If you do a lot of business and you've got lenders that are out looking, that want to get your business or that are already working with you, I mean, personally, in my opinion, they should be helping you out with these marketing pieces and parties, because you're giving them, so especially now, so much of their business. And if they don't want to co-market with you, I would go find someone who does. Honestly, I really would, just because of the value that you give back to them. But with our other vendors, I have not ever had a problem with it. Like, what we'll do at the beginning of the year, and they know we do all these parties, is like my home inspector, for example, he's like, can I just write you one check and that will be my donation to all of your events? And so he'll give us, I don't know what the monetary amount, maybe it's $1,000. Our home warranty company donates too, but a lot of companies have budgets for this stuff, but you got to ask for it. And you don't necessarily know that they do until you ask. I mean, even our insurance agents, if like my daughter's my insurance agent, and she's hard to get money out of, but she'll have her whole team come and they'll put a booth. She doesn't think she needs to, but they'll make a booth and they'll do like drawings for things. And so they'll come and help participate, and they'll have activities like cornhole and different things like that. So if somebody doesn't necessarily want to put money into the pot, have them come and help out in different ways. But I think, Cap, one thing that we've kind of changed this last year is we've said, would you like to sponsor the donuts? And then they're like, sure, instead of being like, give me $500, you know what I mean? So it's a different conversation. So I would potentially do it like that. But then I think you've also got to show them, when at our events, we're going to market you and basically, you know, our entire database is going to get exposure to your brand and know what you do. So, and then I think you've also got to let people know that the more they see the same home warranty company, you know, it sticks, right? After you see it so many times. And so that just gives recognition to them. So, you know, but if you have people that just won't do it, find a different vendor, because again, your vendor should be reciprocating, especially if you're giving them a lot of business. So.
Okay, awesome. You can get back to we have quite a few questions on here.
Okay, let me see. So I do not stand, let's see. I don't stand at a check-in station. So we do have a check-in station, and we have a team member that you have to check in when you arrive. And that captures the information. You want to know how many people came to your event. And you also want to know who came. If you have big events, mine are so big, if we don't put the names down, I mean, so like we would have no clue. So, but then again, you want to have a way to follow up with people. So, and I think that was the main question, right? Or do I keep, let's see.
The other one is, what do you do to keep these friends who came with the clients in your database? And I'm guessing what they mean is like gather their information, or, but that would be, so yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So when people check in, if we only have a name, then we collect their email address, and phone number, and we just add them to our database. I don't ask permission. I know some people get weird about that, but if I ask permission to add people to my database, I probably would have done half the business that I've done, because if I can get your info, you're going in there. And then I'm going to build a relationship with you. Let's see how many people are in my database. I think with clients, we have about 1,500, and I have about 1,800 agents in the database. I keep my databases separate though. So my database is relationships, and then we use Follow Up Boss for like all of our leads, until we convert them over into, we know is going to be a client. They don't go into the CRM. So it's kind of a different way of doing things, but it keeps it clean for us. So in our Follow Up Boss, we probably have thousands in there, but I think it's just important that I don't really care about having the quantity. I want the quality. And so that's what we're going for in the actual CRM that we have.
So yeah, just to clarify on that. So you said you have about 1,500 contacts in your CRM that have been vetted. And these are people that you have a relationship
with. And that we're currently working with, or they bought or sold with us, but we have a relationship with them. Then we have another database where they're leads, and until we create that, we don't move them over to the CRM. So kind of a different way of doing things. But do you have more than one vendor? So we, not really on the lender side, just because my lender gives us 50% of everything. I don't have another lender that we let be a part of that. I don't think he'd be very happy with that, since he would be paying the bulk of it. I do know some realtors out here that do parties, and they have a couple different lenders that will all donate, but they're really big teams that they got more than one preferred lender that they use. I think you could do it anyway, as long as people understand, but we try and keep it to one vendor. So one insurance, one home warranty, one home inspector. If we're doing like a raffle drawing or something, we need gift baskets, then we'll get them from everybody. We'll let everybody donate, and we'll put their sponsorships and stuff on there. But I think you got to be kind of careful with that a little bit. So depending on what kind of donations that you're getting.
Are you generally recommending to people that, like, when you meet a new buyer, are you giving them a list of a few lenders or just that one?
We give them just one. Okay. And I've made sure that it's legal for me to do that. Yeah. If somebody wants a second opinion, they're like, I don't want just one, then I will give them, we have a second lender. So in the times that we have, like, I've had my lender donate and like pay for pizza at a party, but I haven't had him necessarily do like half the party with us. So okay. Yeah. And then title lender, let's see, what are you asking if you're title lender and not giving you anything? You need a new.
I think that's just a comment.
That's a comment.
That's just a comment.
I agree. I thumbs up that. So, and then I see, let's see. And then let's see, we use a sign in. If one other thing you guys can do is like a QR code, people can QR code, and then they have to fill out their information that they are checking in. So that's an easy way on the sign in. Depends on how many people you have coming. So if you have very large parties like I have, we have to, it's a time consuming process getting people checked in. So we have to be really, really efficient with that. But QR codes are great too. So.
Do you remember, Heather, or do you know what texting service you use? I feel like people might be interested in that. Like what platform you use to.
Let's see. It's amazing too. Let me look it up really quick and see if I can find it. Come on. I might have to, we might have to send that out. Let me see if Kaylee will answer me really fast.
That's fine. I can include it in our follow-up document that we're putting together, or that we put together. So
I want to call it Posty something, but I don't think it is.
And then also to clarify in your marketing, because I know a lot of people are, I don't think it's called reach, but to answer Terry's question. So I've heard a lot of people debate whether they should use a service like paperless post or Evite versus sending the invitations to their own database from their email service provider. I know you send them through your email service provider. Is there a reason why you do that?
You mean through like Constant Contact?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we just do you could send an Evite if you wanted to, but we just customize our newsletters, and then it's Punchbowl, the texting service for the RSVPs. And it's so inexpensive. It's crazy. I think it's like $8 to a month to send out, and you get to send out like 500. So it just depends on, again, how many you need to do. But we just have an RSVP link. I just found that we get the same either way, because we've tried different things, and it's just an extra email that they probably don't really need to necessarily get. So I just like to stick with our branding. That's why. But you could do it either way. I think it's just as effective.
Okay.
So
All right. Any other questions?
let me tell her things. No questions.
You guys all ready to plan your parties next year?
I will say, if anyone has very specific party questions, I mean, I have literally, let's see, my first party again was in 08. And for so many years, I can't even tell you, I've done 5 parties a year. I've done a lot of parties. I've done a lot of things right and a lot of things wrong. And when you get the checklist that we're going to send out as part of, you know, that you'll get after the fact, it is very, very comprehensive. Like we've built this out over all of the years and just forgetting things and then, oh, get that on the checklist, get it on the checklist. But what you'll want to do with it is for each party that you have, you're going to have different needs. Like when we do the pumpkin patch, we need to make sure we bring garbage bags, you know, to put all the garbage in from all the donuts. So, you know, you'll want to kind of build it out based on the party that you have. And it's something that you can also upload into Canva, or not Canva, Asana or a task management system if you use them, and then you just check off the boxes. So right now we're planning our client party for the Cookies with Santa. And so we just sent out our invites. So like we're rolling with that right now. So, and if you guys, you could, if you don't have anything for the rest of the year, you could do one still, even if it was the week before Christmas on a Cookies with Santa. It is a great party to do, and it is super inexpensive. Like you rent a Santa, to have it in your office. If you've got an office with the company that you're in, just decorate nicely and rent yourself a Santa. They can be in high demand. So if you think about doing one, you know, make sure you do it. But it's a really fun party. We have great turnout to that one. So
what does that party look like? Like you have Santa there, they take pictures with him, and then you just have cookies available? Is there anything else that goes on?
Yeah, we have cookies, and then we have crafts that the kids can do. And then we do the Santa letters as well. So the kids can write the letters to Santa, and then we have those sent back. And then we will do cookies, drinks. People mingle around for a long time for them. The other thing we let people do is on our Santa one is they get to bring their pets. So if you can find a place where people can bring pets, you would be shocked at how many people will show up with their dogs for pictures. They love it. So try and find a venue and involve pets, because we get a great turnout from that as well. So, but it's an easy party to put on, you know, and you don't need to have a fancy venue, just, you know, make it fancy. So
the main thing they're doing is capturing that picture with Santa.
Yeah.
With some snacks. Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So
we do that. We do Santa every year here in Baltimore, and I use Sign Up Genius for that, and we do 20-minute blocks. Just a suggestion. Because the first year I did it, I did 3 to 6, and I had 100 people there at 3 o'clock, which turned it into a mall experience.
Yeah.
So we use Sign Up Genius, which allows you to put slots. So this year, last couple of years, we've done 20-minute blocks. We have five families per 20-minute block. And that seems to be efficient. That way you can show up at 3:45 and you're out of there in 20 minutes versus the whole crew showing up at 3 o'clock.
What did you call that?
It's called Sign Up Genius. It's an Evite type thing. A lot of my schools use it for potluck stuff where you're getting kids, like for Halloween parties, who's going to bring the cupcakes, who's going to bring the punch.
Yeah.
You can sign up for different things, and it also allows for slots. So I have a 3 to 3:20, 3 to 3:15, 3:15, 3:30. So the family shows up at 4 o'clock and they're out of there in 15 minutes versus showing up at 3 o'clock, the whole bunch. And you're there for 2 hours with your 4-year-old, which is no bueno. So
well, that's a
suggestion.
good idea too, because one thing I love about that is it locks people into coming too. So when they RSVP, they mean it, right? Because like we do our Valentine party, we collect RSVPs. We make people select a meal option, even though we don't really have options. It's like vegetarian, gluten-free, or like the chicken entree or whatever we have, right? But it locks them into coming because that's a seated dinner. So like we need to know who's going to be there. So that's a really good idea. I like that. Somebody asked, about a microphone. So the only one I do an actual program or what an announcement at is at the Valentine party. The other ones I don't, but you could do a microphone if you wanted to make a big announcement. We tried that one time and we had a raffle and it was people like were waiting and it didn't work out so well. So when we do raffles, we always say we're going to announce it. We'll announce it on this date on who won the raffle, and then we'll do a big social media announcement on that. And then when Katie asked a really, really good question, I don't know if you're still on here, but I'll answer it for everyone else. So for our Valentine party, where we have a very specific criteria to come, and we make it very well known. So like you buy or sell a home with us, you send us a referral, and that's how you get an invite to the party. If they don't, the following year, they don't get invited. And we're very clear about that. And I've had to be, because clients are like, oh my gosh, you did your party and I didn't get invited. That's never happened to me before. And so, so we market it that way. This is how you get into the event. And before we get to the end of the year, we'll also put a little plug out like, hey, the Valentine party's coming up. We haven't got a referral from you. So you have to, you have to be careful, because they can turn into such big, huge, very expensive events if I were to invite everyone every single year. So,
and also I think then that just also is another way for you to continue to communicate to your clients about sharing referrals and to give them some value and some benefit out of doing that.
Yeah. And if anybody needs a Santa letter, just hit me up and I'll send you ours. We can send you the process. So we've got all that put together.
Yeah, and also just so I know, a lot of you guys on here are obviously our members. There's some of you who are not. This is a program we're putting together for members, but we wanted to give some of you that are not a little taste of what we're doing. So just to clarify, if you are a member, you will get the package that we're putting together in your members area, and I will be sending the link out to you guys, but that is the members only benefit. So if you have questions about our marketing membership, let us know. But this call really was created for our Be Epic marketing members, monthly members. And so that's kind of a package that we're reserving just for you guys for signing on with us.
Let's see.
What is probably answer a couple more questions before we sign off at noon.
My standard for receiving a referral to qualify for the dinner, they just have to send a referral. I mean, if the referral doesn't pan out, it's not the fault of the person. They thought of me. So I'm going to deepen that and keep them thinking about me and teaching them how to continue to refer. So if they sent when they get in, and then the way I work it out with the team, it's the same criteria for all of us. So my team members, so every buyer seller that bought and sold with our team, with our group, they will come to, they get the invite to the event. And so it's the same process that I use for myself and the team members. So let's see, package. Oh, Kat, can you send out the package plan and fees again, a link?
Yes, I'll send that out as a follow-up to the non-members. It'll be in your package will be available this week in the members area, and I'm going to send you guys all a link to it as well. So once that's live, I'll send you a link directly. Someone was asking when it'll be available. So this recording will be saved in your members area along with that marketing package. And if you guys do think of anything else from this call that you would like to see included with the package, we're definitely here to share whatever templates you guys need. So feel free to reach out to Heather or I. We have so many marketing materials that we've created over the years, so we're happy to include those as additional resources for you if there's something in particular you were looking for.
I have everything for everything. So just ask. And thank you all for coming.
All right. I think we got through all the questions. So yeah, we will be in touch with you guys. Thanks for showing up and for your great questions. And I hope you guys are off to the races with planning your parties for the new year.
Thanks, Kat and Heather.
Appreciate it. Guys. All right.
Thanks.
See you all later.